Okay, we might find that difficult to believe today because unfortunately a lot of us are down and out. A lot of our Muslim countries are down and out. So we forget how things once were, and maybe we don't even have knowledge of that. Maybe we didn't even know. But Islam is the great civilization producer. And may we see that miracle in this land. May we see that in Flint. May we see that in Detroit. May we see that throughout the country, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But history is, as you know, it's the Day of Judgment. Allah is Maliku Yawmuddin. He is the owner and the king of the Day of Judgment. And we have to understand that all the things that play out around us, they are just the pretext of the judgment. That's what's happening. It's like we're not in the judgment yet, but that's what's going on. Every person is living out their destiny. Everyone is taking that destiny that is within them. So we refer to life as a test. It's an ibtila. Okay? But historians would say also that history is challenge and response. Challenge and response. And we would say that's the way that Allah's test works. Okay? That Allah gives us challenges. And then human beings respond to those challenges. And in the history of civilizations, civilizations fall when they are no longer able to meet the challenge. In the beginning, when civilizations are growing and when they're strong, they are also challenged, but they have the means to meet that challenge. The Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, they come out of a blessed peninsula, the Arabian Peninsula. It's like a subcontinent. Incredible place. Big and beautiful. Many of you have been there. It's beautiful. It's a desert, but it's got mountains, it has oases, it is incredible. And it was created by God to be totally sheltered. The Arabian Peninsula. You have the Hijaz, which is all volcanic mountains. Hijaz means the barrier, because you cannot come into the Hijaz in the old days unless you have the help and the permission of the tribes who live there, because it is too rough. If you are there, you can find beautiful gardens. You can find oases, all of those mountains of the Hijaz, some of which are very high. They have in them water. They have oases. Sometimes you will find trees there that go back to the Ice Age. Types of trees that have been preserved there in the mountains that were in the Ice Age. But because of the way the sun is and the shade is and the water, they're still there. And you have leopards, you have different kind of animals. Okay, so the peninsula, the Arabian Peninsula, could support life. It could support tribes. Okay, but it is protected from the outside, and also it's very difficult for those tribes to live any other way. Okay, so this is the way the Arabian Peninsula was. It was a tribal society. It kept the Semitic language, which we call Arabic, which is ancient Semitic. The Arabic language, the word Arabic implies that it is the clear language. It is the articulate language. But that language was preserved by the peninsula because no one could come in to change it. No one could change it. And then you had also with Abraham the re-establishment of the pilgrimage to Mecca and the house of Allah in Mecca. And then the sacred months, the 4 sacred months of the year in which it's not permissible to fight. And so then also, even though the tribes will fight, and even though they have rivalries, they will be at peace for 1/3 of the year. 4 months of the year. And they will meet in Mecca they will make the pilgrimage. Sometimes they'll make peace. Sometimes they will intermarry. They will also trade with each other. And so these were the amazing things, that the pilgrimage would keep them together as a people, and the peninsula would protect them from the outside and give them everything they want. Allah says in the Quran, جَعَلَ اللَّهُ الْكَعْبَةَ الْبَيْتَ الْحَرَامَ قِيَامًا لِلنَّاسِ وَالشَّهْرَ الْحَرَامَ وَالْهَدْيَ وَالْقَلَائِدِ. That God made the Kaaba, the first house for the worship of God, the blessed Kaaba, the form of which is exactly like the first temple of Solomon. The same building, same thing. Okay, the same structure. We think of the Temple of Solomon as this big thing. That would be like thinking of the Kaaba as the mosque around the Kaaba. Okay, because the Temple of Solomon, it has in it the place where the Ark of the Covenant is kept. And that building looks just like the Kaaba. And the tent, the tabernacle of the covenant that Moses had in the desert, it also looks just like that. It's got the same structure. Okay, so Allah made the Kaaba. جَعَلَ اللَّهُ الْكَعْبَةَ الْبَيْتَ الْحَرَامِ, the inviolable house, the sacred house. قِيَامًا لِلنَّاسِ, He made it as a qiyam for the people. And one recitation of the Quran says قِيَامًا لِلنَّاسِ, that He made it as a guardian of the people. He made it as a king of the people, a protector of the people, a qiyam. Also qiyam, that He made it a source of life, something that gave them an economic livelihood, another kind of livelihood. He made it a livelihood for them. جَعَلَ اللَّهُ الْكَعْبَةَ الْبَيْتَ الْحَرَامَ قِيَامًا لِلنَّاسِ وَالشَّهْرَ الْحَرَامِ, and the inviolable month, meaning the sacred months. What were the sacred months? Who knows? There are 4. What are the sacred months? Very good. Akramakillah. And not Ramadan. Not Ramadan. Many of you say, Ramadan. No, Ramadan is a blessed month, but it's not a sacred month. The sacred months, the inviolable months, are Rajab. Rajab, which is the 7th lunar month that comes in the middle of the year. And it was called Rajabul Fard, Rajab the solitary. And it was also called Rajabul Asam, Rajab that is deaf, because you're not supposed to hear weapons in that month. You better not hear weapons in that month. No fighting. And then you have Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, the month of pilgrimage. And the month before that, the 11th and 12th month. And then you have Muharram, the inviolable month, which is the first month of the year. And for over almost 3,000 years, from the time of Abraham till the time of our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the Arabs the sons of Ishmael and their brothers in the Arabian Peninsula, whom we call the pure Arabs or the original Arabs, they protected this very carefully, and they rarely ever violated the sacred months. And the Sahaba tell us, because they remember how it was, that even in their time, they say that a man would encounter during the sacred months the man who murdered his father, and yet he would do nothing. Or the man who killed his uncle or his brother, and they would do nothing, because it is forbidden to fight. Forbidden. And Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, he tells us that Allah would retaliate. That's why the Arabs did it. Not just that they were extremely pious, it's that if you violate this month, Allah will retaliate right now. جَعَلَ اللَّهُ الْكَعْبَةَ, Allah made the Kaaba, and Allah made the sacred month. قِيَامًا لِلنَّاسِ. Okay, so they had that. And then الشهر الحرام والهدي. Al-Hadi is the sacrificial animal that you take to pilgrimage. So when we go to pilgrimage, especially in the old days, people would take a camel, or they would take a cow, or they would take a sheep or a goat, and they would mark it in a certain way so that everybody knows that this animal has been designated for sacrifice in the pilgrimage or the Umrah. Okay, and then people won't touch that either, and they won't touch the people that are guiding it because they are guests of Allah. So even if it's not in the sacred months, even in the other months, like Ramadan, if they have the hadi and they're going to Mecca, the Arabs would not touch them. That's what we're told in the tafsir books. And al-qala'id are the garlands. We don't use the word garland very much anymore, but the qala'id are garlands. They are beautiful, sort of like necklaces that are weaved together that you put on animals. Some people do that. They decorate their cattle for certain festivals. Those are garlands, but the garlands would be made usually from idkhar, which is a particular type of aromatic plant that grows in Mecca. And that's one of the plants that you can take from the haram, because Mecca is in the haram, it's in the sanctuary. So they would take that plant and they would take it home and they would put it in their ceilings or roofs because it smells really good. But also when people see that, oh, they've got garlands on their animals, it means they are coming back from Mecca. So you don't touch them. This was an amazing thing. This is the way that the Arabian Peninsula was.